Hello students, so let us discuss the next topic, that is a work energy theorem, that is for the variable force. Last class I have already discussed about a constant force, so I am discussing it today, the variable force. First of all, if I consider the kinetic energy formula, which we have, the kinetic energy is equals to half of mv square. Suppose if I differentiate both sides, okay, if I differentiate both sides, I will separate this part, that kinetic energy is equals to half mv square. If I differentiating both sides with respect to t, okay, with respect to t, I can write as dke by dt is equals to ddt of half mv square. Okay, ddt of half mv square. I am differentiating both sides with respect to t. So if I differentiate, as we know, this half and m is a constant. So this will be coming out of your differentiation. dv square by dt. Then next, what we have? So if I differentiate it, dv square by dt. So your 2 will come up into 2. It will be dv by dt. Okay, because one power will be reduced and 2 will be multiplied. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So this will be m dv by dt. Okay, so we have got that mass is equal. Sorry, one more. Sorry, you will be getting here v. Sorry, this will be mv dv dt. Okay, because here your variable is v, it is not t. So here, because since v is like, as for example, you see dv square by t dt. This v square is depending on the t, but it is not directly, the variable is not given as t. So what we can do, if you differentiate it, this 2v, if you differentiate it, get 2v, but since this variable is not there, you have to differentiate it again. So it will be dv by dt. Okay, you have to differentiate the variable again. So therefore you can see 2v dv by dt. So 2 get cancelled, it will be mv dv by dt. Next we know that dv by dt, it is acceleration, rate of change of velocity is called as acceleration. So this will be equation number 1. Okay, dk by dt is equals to mass into acceleration into velocity. Or you can do one thing, mass into acceleration is what? Is force, so it will be F into V. Mark this as equation number 1. You can do one more step, like suppose differentiation of kinetic energy by dt will be equals to, in place of V I can write dx by dt. Rate of change of displacement. Rate of change of displacement is called as velocity. So I have just broken it into dx by dt. Clear? As you see, a is equals to dv by dt, rate of change of velocity. Velocity is equals to rate of change of displacement. Okay, therefore because of this place only I have written dx by dt. Clear? Next, what I can do, you can do one thing, you can mark this as equation number 2. Suppose if x is equals to xi, that is initial displacement, okay, then we can write kinetic energy is equals to kinetic energy initial. I means initial, okay, initial. When x is equals to xf, then kinetic energy is equals to kinetic energy final. Okay, one is initial and one is final. Now, if I place it integrating both sides, we get integration of dke by dt. Okay, or you can do one thing, if you do the integration, you can see both sides you have dt. Both sides you have dt. So you can cancel out that dt. So left out will be dke equals to f into dx. Then in the integration you have to put the limits, initial and the final. For this it will be kinetic energy initial, kinetic energy final. initial displacement, final displacement, as I have used it here. You see, for xi kinetic energy initial, you can see. For xf we have the kinetic energy final, so I have written it above. You see. Okay. Next, suppose if I solve it, integration of dx. Integration of dx is x. So integration of dke, you'll get ke. That is kinetic energy. So we have to put the limits. Kinetic energy initial, kinetic energy final equals to. If I do that, here f will come out. Okay, f will come out. So it will be fx. So xi to xf. Then if you break it, this will be kinetic energy final minus of kinetic energy initial equals to f of, okay, it will be f of xf minus of xi. Yeah, or you can do one thing. Instead of doing this, this is also correct. Instead of doing this, you just keep on the right hand side similarly. Xi to xf f into dx, xi to xf f into dx. Okay, then this xi to xf f into dx. This here you can see I have already there work done by a variable force. So in place of this is nothing but the work done by variable force. So in place of this I can write W, kinetic energy final minus of kinetic energy initial. So you can see the expression what I have got. Okay, work done is equals to change in kinetic energy. So this is the formula for work done by a variable force. Yeah, so work done by constant. So work energy theorem for constant force I have done. Work energy theorem for the variable force I also have done. So in the next part I will be discussing about the potential energy. Okay, so what is the potential energy? So the potential energy, as you already know, that potential energy is energy gained by an object when the object is at rest or change in configuration of the body takes place. Okay, so that we call as a potential energy. Now suppose, let me derive a formula for the potential energy. So suppose if you consider that this is a ground. Okay, this is a ground. We are lifting an object from the ground to a height h. Okay, we are lifting an object from the ground to a height h from point A to point B. So we have to see what is the work done acting on that object. Okay, what is the work done acting on that object? So you will be applying a force towards up. The weight of the object will be towards the downward direction. If you want to lift that object, to a height h, obviously you have to apply force against the gravity, because gravitational force is already there. So if you want to lift this object, you have to apply force equal to or greater than the weight of the body, and it should be opposite to it. Okay, now work done in moving the object. Okay, work done in moving the object or work done by F against gravitational force. Against gravitational force. Gravitational force is downwards, applied force is towards above. So what then will be equals to W is equals to force dot displacement. Okay, force dot displacement. You are displacing to the height h. So it will be F h. You can see the displacement is towards the upward direction. Force is also towards the upward direction. Then what will be the angle? Angle will be equal to 0 because they are parallel to each other. So this will be equal to Fh. Okay, F into h. Now F into h, because I have already told that this F and mg value is same, so I can write as W is equal to mg into h. Okay, W is equals to mg into h. So this work done, the work done here that you have got, this work done will be stored as potential energy in a body. Okay, this work done will be stored as potential energy in a body because you are changing the position of the body. Okay, changing the position of the body, then it will be gaining potential energy. So work done will be stored as potential energy. So U will be equals to mgh. This U, capital U, represents potential energy. Okay, so we have discussed about the work done by the constant force, variable force we have discussed, and also we have discussed about the potential energy. Okay, so next we'll be discussing about the one more type of force. Like we'll be discussing about the topic called as the conservative force and the non-conservative force. What is the meaning of that? So one more part I have left out. This potential energy, okay, this potential energy can also be divided into two parts. Okay, this can also be divided into two parts. One is a gravitational, okay, and one more is a elastic. Gravitational and elastic potential energy. Gravitational potential energy is gained when you change the position of the body or if your object is at rest. Okay, rest or change in position. Rest or change in position. And elastic potential energy, like suppose if you take a spring or if you take a rubber band, if you stretch it, so the rubber band configuration changes, its shape changes. So when a configuration changes, then elastic potential energy is gained, like in the rubber band or spring. And this has a formula, U is equals to half kx squared. This is the difference between gravitational and elastic potential energy. Gravitational potential energy has a formula of mgh. Elastic potential energy has a formula of half kx squared. So this formula I will be deriving in the next class along with conservative and the non-conservative force. Okay, so thank you for today. We'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.